must be just as shocked as I am. The cunning Petyr Baelish actually died at the hands of the Stark sisters. However, all of this was because he made these three fatal mistakes. Firstly, his survival rule was already no longer applicable. Baelish had believed in the saying, chaos is a ladder, throughout his life. He had always risen to power by creating chaos, but Bran's all-knowing ability completely shattered his advantage. Through the power of the three-eyed raven, Bran had seen many of Baelish's secrets, from betraying Ned Stark, which led to Ned's arrest and execution, to masterminding the Purple Wedding and poisoning Joffrey while framing Tyrion, and then pushing his wife Lysa Arryn through the Moon Door and disguising it as a suicide. Baelish's political schemes were laid bare under Bran's all-knowing perspective. Secondly, this master of manipulating people's minds made a fatal judgment error. He was used to sowing discord and assumed that there were still the same contradictions between Sansa and Arya as there were in their childhood. So he constantly fanned the flames in Sansa's ear, hinting that Arya was coveting the inheritance of Winterfell. Little did he know that the Stark sisters, who had gone through many hardships, had already established a deep trust in each other. They secretly joined hands to set a trap and instead lured him into the carefully designed snare. However, the greatest irony lies in the fact that Baelish was ultimately defeated by his own protege, Sansa.
I gave it to him.
He had once sold this innocent girl as a political bargaining chip to the Bolton family, causing her to suffer greatly at the hands of Ramsay Bolton. These sufferings forged a new Sansa. She learned to see through lies, knew how to cultivate her power, and even indirectly controlled the armies of the Vale through Robb and Arryn. In the final trial, Sansa used Baelish's own methods against him. With the false accusations and public execution that Baelish was most proficient in, she made this master of political intrigue die under the very game rules that he was most familiar with. When Petyr was still trying to convince Sansa with his chaos theory, he didn't realize that the bird in his hand had already become the leader of the pack of wolves. This Littlefinger, who had once played with the entire Westeros in the palm of his hand, ultimately could not escape the fate of being devoured by the Game of Thrones.